Hey guys, this is Jordan with OptionBots, and in this video, we're going to show you how to backtest an option strategy without coding. In fact, you can see on the screen right here that I already have a backtest up. This is a QQQ Iron Butterfly, and we're going to show you how to build one from scratch. We're going to walk you through it and do one live in front of you, and then also show you how to turn it into a live trading bot in one click. So you can backtest it first, see how it works, and then just have this auto trade on your actual brokerage account without any coding. So let's get into it. So this is the OptionBots platform, okay? Now you can see on here, I've done a bunch of different back tests already. We just released this and I've been testing this like crazy. It's a lot of fun, but we're gonna go ahead and start by building our own back test. So I'm gonna move my camera so you can kind of see on the top right here, there's a little new back test button. We're gonna click that. And we're gonna go ahead from right here, move myself back, and build this from scratch, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to build a SPY Iron Condor strategy. Okay, the reason I want to do that is because it's just a simple strategy. Most people know Iron Condors and SPY. And so first thing we got to do is click the symbol. So we're going to go ahead and click the SPY symbol. And then we want to click the strategy, which is the Iron Condor. So we're going to go down here and hit continue. And next thing we have to pick is basically the range of what we want our backtest to be. Now I'm going to go with 2 years. Mainly because it's just like a standard for me. You can go up to 3 years on our platform, which is pretty neat. But sometimes 3 years can take like a few minutes to load. 2 years is pretty quick, so I'm just going to go with that. And next thing we have to click is our VIX range. Okay, so this basically tells us at what point do we want VIX to enter, or when do we want our bot to enter? Is there any limitations to that? And so VIX is going to be the first one, right? And so for me, I don't really care about VIX. I mean, a lot of people look at VIX, they want to get in and out. Sometimes when VIX crosses like 20 or 25, that's considered high volatility, and they don't want to trade that. But for me, I'm just going to leave that blank for now. The next thing we have to do is figure out our setup. Now, I've already ran a bunch of different back tests, so I kind of know what kind of strategy I want to do. If you are completely new and you have no idea what strategy to build, that's completely fine. That's why we have back testing. So what you can do is basically just play around. You can try like a 0.2 delta, you can try a 0.5 delta, 0.3 delta, right? You can just mess around, try them, and then do different reruns and edits. I'll show you that in a second. But for this, we're gonna go with the 0.45 delta, all right? And we're gonna go with a spread width of 2. So what does that actually mean? It means we're shorting, the short strikes we're doing for our Iron Condor is at the 0.45 delta, and the spread width is 2. So if we're getting in short at like the, 500 strike price, we're going to be buying the 502 because that's 2 strike prices ahead as protection, and then do that on both sides of the Iron Condor. All right, so pretty simple stuff like that. Now entry days, I'm going to do a 1 DTE strategy. Okay, I actually love to trade 0 DTE. It's one of my favorite. I'll show you some backtests later of 0 DTE, but we're going to go with the 1 DTE just because it's very easy. So we're doing overnight trades, and we're going to get into this at 2. Let me think for a second. No, we're going to get into this at 9:55, all right? So we're going to go 9:55 a.m. So we want to get into an Iron Condor very early in the morning. We want to capture the day's premium, and we want to try and capture tomorrow or the next day's premium as well, all right? So we're just trying to catch as much premium as we can with the strategy. We're going to go ahead and skip FOMC, and we're going to do this every single day. Hit continue. Now, for the take profit, we're going to go with a 40% take profit. Okay, we want to take profit a little bit early on the strategy. Just to see, how that's going to work. And stop loss, we're actually going to leave blank. Now, normally I don't leave this blank. I usually always put in a stop loss. But for me, I personally just don't want to have a stop loss. We have a pretty quick take profit, and I know the risk on this, right? It's a pretty lower win rate, higher risk reward strategy. So we're going to leave that there. And we're just going to exit with 5 minutes before the market closes. That way we don't have to worry about getting like assigned or exercised or anything like that. We're not going to hold this into expiration, so we can just make sure we do 5 minutes. Continue, and we're just going to go with 1 contract for now, keep it simple, and then boom, just make sure everything looks good, and then queue backtest. And there we go. So this is going to queue this and actually load the backtest. Now again, since we're doing 2 years, it's probably going to take like no more than a minute here. So I'm going to let that run and show you some of the other backtests that we've done. You can see I've done a bunch on here. We have some Iron Condor 0 DTs. We have some QQQ Iron Butterflies. In fact, this is one that we actually already cloned into a live bot. So let me make sure you can see that here. I'll just kind of show you that feature. So actually, let me go back and kind of show you what that looks like. So while this is running, I'll show you what this, once this is done. If we go to, let's say, this backtest, for example, right? It's a SPY credit spread strategy. Okay, very good looking chart, very simple. On this top right, if I go quick actions, I click clone to bot, I can actually turn this into a trading bot right away. If I click that, it's going to bring me up to the bot builder. And then all I have to do from here is basically give it a name. So we'll call it, backtest 3 bot. Connect my brokerage account, or we can do paper trading, and then continue. All the settings for the backtest are still in here. All we have to do is update the risk. So if I want to trade 1 contract, maybe 2 contracts, whatever it is, we hit continue and then launch bot. And there we go. We literally just turned the backtest we made into a bot. And all I have to do right here is go this and turn on, and then yes. And now this is going to paper trade for me, and we can follow along and see how this actually works on paper. So let me go back to the backtest, see when this is done. We can see that we're at about 47%. Let me move my my camera back here. So we're going to let this one play out. And again, this is kind of the process that I do for testing all my strategies without code. I'll come here, I'll look at a backtest. So for example, let's say I look at this straddle I made right here. All right, actually, let me go to a different one. Let's say I take a look at this one, right? I don't even know what this is or what this is, but this is kind of the setup that we have, right? Let's say we say, okay, this one is a 40% take profit, 40% stop loss. Now what I can do is I can go right here and I can edit it, right? And I can say, okay, well, what if I just change the take profit to 60% and I keep the stop loss? Does it do better? Does it perform better in the market, right? And then what I can do is I can just come back and test these and say, okay, does this one outperform the last back test I did? And this is the greatest thing about this is you can test as many times as you want. So I can sit here for like an hour every single week and just say, play around and let me change the take profit. Let me change the stop loss. Let me change the time I get in by 5 minutes or 10 minutes or an hour. Let me change the ticker I'm trading. And you can basically test all of these and come up with like the best available bots. And you can see just by doing a bunch of different tests here, I've found so many that are all profitable, and I can run these and connect them to my brokerage account in one click. And so that's kind of the theory and the strategy that I like to do. I like to make as many bots as I can, as many back tests as I can, find one that works, find one that I really like, and then turn into a paper trading bot, test it with paper, and then eventually turn it live. And so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to go ahead and wait for this to clear up. Again, we're at 83%, so almost done there. And again, then we'll also be able to compare this one we just made, which is almost done, to the original one we had, which I believe was right here. So yeah, this one was a 40%, and you can see it made about $4,800. So overall, pretty good. And we'll see what this one ends up landing about. It's about halfway done already. So that one's moving a little bit quicker. So let's go back. So 89%, almost done here. And we're going to see how this Iron Condor, bot that we just made together is going to perform, right? Now I've already made it, so I know that it should be pretty good, I believe, unless I change some of the settings in there. So we'll go ahead and see how that performs. But again, we've made a lot of different bots on here. Some of them perform really well. You can see some of them, obviously, on the next page over did not perform really well. But that's what's cool about it. You can sit here and test, and again, they really don't take long to edit. They're very, very quick. And there's all bunch of backtests you can do. You can do short puts, you can do short calls. You can also view all the trades. So if I want to go down here and see all the different trades, we can see the P&L, when we get in, the exact time of entry, the exact time of exit, the price of entry, price of exit. You can also look at this and then go back in your chart on TradingView or whatever you use to chart and kind of like actually see like how it would have entered and exit and see if you want to update things. So there's a lot of really cool stuff you can do with this. All right, so our SPY Iron Condor has completed. We're going to click on it, and there we go. That looks like a pretty good back test to me. I'm not going to lie. That is a very strong looking chart right there. Very strong curve. You can see it made about $6,000. Close to $7,000 with one contract in a 2-year time span. The worst loss it's had was $125. So overall, really, really good. Risk reward is pretty good, right? Our average wins are bigger than our average losses, and our win rate is above 50%. So overall, that's a pretty solid bot to be running. And again, if we look at the trades, overall looks pretty solid, right? We have I think just by looking at it, the longest streak we've had is about 4 losses. I guess this one is about 6 losses. But overall looks really, really solid. And I think that this is a pretty good bot to use. If I wanted to, I could just turn it into a bot live and then go from there. But again, let's go ahead and look at the one that we made, which was a comparison. So remember, this one is the new one we made. This one had a 60% take profit versus the original 40%. This one made $5,000, 57% win rate. The chart looks very similar. If I go back to this one made $4,800. So it made just $200 more, slight increase, with the 60% take profit versus the 40%. Overall, the chart looks pretty similar, which is what we would have expected. But overall, for me, that was a good test. Now I can go and say, this is a good one I want to do, and I can try going with like a 70% take profit and 80% and just keep testing and seeing what works. And overall, this was quick. This was been a 10-minute video. We've already tested 2 different bots. And again, that was with me explaining everything. If you're just quick with this, you can test 30, 40, 50 different bots in an hour very quickly and just testing and turning them live. So hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you're interested in trying out this platform, I'll leave a link to the description below. This backtesting, by the time you're watching this video, is most likely live. I'm filming this and we're going to push this live tomorrow or the next day around June 4th, June 5th, which is also when the PDT rule goes away on June 4th. So really exciting time to be trading with bots and 0 DTE. But yeah, go ahead, check it out with the link in the description. You can go ahead and try it. We have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So for whatever reason you don't like it in the first 30 days, you can get all your money back. So go ahead, hit the link in the description. Hope you guys like it. Check it out. And I'll see you in the next video.